looking at a live feed from the Canada, France, Hawaii telescope on Mauna Kea, Hawaii. And the sun just went down right about there. The moon, if it was going to show itself, should be close to there. Venus, if you can see Venus there, is showing on camera right there. And the moon is just barely in Crescent. But you can obviously see the glow of the sky. I can't remember. This observatory is up around, I don't know, 9,000 feet. It's up there on the big island volcano on Mauna Kea. It's a Hawaiian asset. I don't know, culturally significant to the Hawaiian people. So they've, I guess, made an agreement to allow it to be there. I just thought it'd be interesting to see what can be seen from Hawaii. And this is an app called
Sun.
It's an app that allows you to dial up different locations. And the moon has not yet went down, according to this app.
Mercury. Moon.
So there's the moon. It's not yet below the horizon. The sun's already went below the horizon. But there's Venus up there. And so we can safely assume that you go, I don't want to power off. I don't know why it thinks I want to power off. How did I hit a power button? I didn't hit no power button. I don't want to power off. What am I going to have to do? Log back into the dang thing? Did I hit a power button somehow? I guess I did. In any event, I didn't want to power off. To wait for it to come back on. It's like an Apple, might be an Apple II from 2012, it's old. It's like a 14-year-old Apple. I just thought it'd be interesting to see if the crescent moon shows up 12 hours from jolly old England. This is, 1911. Their time is 7:11. The sun set about 16 minutes ago at 6:55. And here it is after midnight. So, what is that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 hours difference. And we're about 5 hours difference from London. So this is about 10 hours time difference. And if we go over here to one of my favorite apps for a smart TV that you might add to your smart TV. I thought I had the remote laying here and I picked it up and moved it. Okay. Smart app for your smart TV is, let me go here to, I don't know, these fun movies that show up. Let's go back to home and we'll go over to Weather for Us. Now this Weather for Us app is it's a free app, but you have to put up with AI girls coming on. I don't want to exit. Trying to get you to spend a cup of coffee. I like the National Slides feature. That's basically recycled National Weather Service and NOAA information. See, it's got the NOAA logo down there. They're just putting it in here where you can spot it. Tonight's aurora forecast. Tomorrow night's there's a moon. If we could see it in that haze, then we could barely see that crescent. And given the way that it's, this is South Pole. You can hit pause, and I don't know why I forget to do that. South Pole, North Pole of the moon. Given how the sunlight is being depicted there is coming off of that side, I would have thought the moon would have been on this side of the sun. But obviously from just a few days ago, this moon has moved to almost being lined up with the sun. Go back to the home button, back down here to YouTube, and oh, well, it didn't make me log back in. That's good. Let's go back to this, and there's Venus. And it looks like we're not going to see crescent moon. Now this is a where'd Venus go? It doesn't like to stay in focus. This silly camera's aggravating sometimes. There it is. Goes out of focus. You can't see fine detail like that. Anyway, the moon should be, sun went down behind that cloud. The moon should be right in there somewhere. But obviously, there's too much haze to see it. And I thought sometimes you can zoom out and it'll force it to focus. So I think this is at, let me hit the settings here. I think we can go all the way up to what is considered 4K. 1440 is not 4K. 2160 might be considered 4K. And I can't tell any difference in the resolution there. Come on. Already selected that. Go off. There we go. And then you go off of there. So, sometimes to the naked eye, you can see things that cameras don't see, especially in a telescope. And I've seen some pretty interesting pictures taken of Saturn or Jupiter during the day or late evening, like before the sun goes down. If you have an app like I showed you from that Apple tablet, you can find it in the sky, aim your picture for it, and play around with it until you can see it. There's another star that showed up. That's not a planet. And my app would tell me which one that is if I wanted to figure it out. A little program. Let me see here. Get that to come back on. It says I didn't enter the password right. And now I have to go off the desktop. Come on. There it is. I think it's called Go Skywatch. There's the logo. Well, it went off. No, I don't want to verify Apple account. Anyway, right there's what we're looking for. Sun just went down. And
Moon, Mercury, Uranus, Mercury, Moon.
The moon and Mercury are above the horizon. They don't appear to be going to show themselves tonight. It'd be right in there. Venus is up there. Let's see if I can figure out what star that is. Arcturus. Sirius, that's the dog star. So Orion is below that, right? No, Orion is between Venus, and he's shooting his arrow straight
Uranus,
west.
Mercury,
So,
Sun,
Sirius, Dog Star, Venus, Orion is right there, and he's facing down, shooting toward the
Mercury, Sun,
horizon. Can't see it.
Moon,
Anyway,
Mercury, Sun,
I kind of disappointed. I kind of thought the moon was going to show itself. If you go to that weather app again, I showed you the depiction of the moon there. Maybe somewhere in a crisp desert, Gobi, Chinese Gobi Desert, or Indians in India this evening, where there's no humidity and haze after sunset, or very little. They might catch a glimpse of the crescent moon, like the Magi from the east, the old Christmas tune, "We Three Kings of Orient are." Although I don't think there's any proof that they were from the Orient. They were just said to be kings of the East. Maybe they're also described as wise men, but I always thought, hey, well, how wise were you to go to this jealous king and cause all those babies to be killed? Yeah, we saw the stuff in the sky, said a king is coming. You realize you're going to be replaced? What? Why don't you go check somewhere around Bethlehem? I don't know what the king told them, but anyway, they went looking. And did my connection go slow? Anyway, yeah, it's hanging up. Getting hung up on you. I'm tilting the camera around. Frame rate just went really low. So, no hint of the moon as yet. I'd say tomorrow night we'll get to see if the clouds are nice enough and clear out. Tonight's clouds were really bad. And you can see how close the moon was to the sun. Those clouds, by the way, were much higher just a few minutes ago, and they've collapsed. All these clouds have collapsed after sunset. So that's kind of what I was counting on. About that third dome with the kind of the crescent of the sunlight around it. Right behind it was where the sun went down, so the moon would be right in here. And it's getting very, very close to the horizon. And on this app, of course, you can reset your time. So if you can see that, I've reset my time to Hawaii time. Oh, 1906. And the clock didn't tick forward, so actually the moon may already be down. It is 1922. I'll go to the calendar settings and go to 20 after. And yeah, the moon is, where's it at?
Moon.
Yeah, moon is touching below the horizon. So what doesn't make sense to me is the way they've depicted that crescent on the Weather for Us app. It shows the moon glistening from that direction, to the right instead of to the left, even though the sun's over here to the left. So maybe the moon is made out of plasma. And sheds its own light. I think it reflects the light that it's been given. Ooh, there was some little light that popped in, a single pixel. And they have this, by the way, they have this camera over here on this observatory. It's labeled Meteor Shower and Mauna Kea West View. So, what is it, the Aquarianids or whatever? Or is it Mr. Aquarius this time of the year? I think the aquarianids are happening. So if you know where to look tonight, and it's after midnight now, but especially right before sunrise, my best ever meteor shower that I saw was something like 4:30 until 7:30 a.m. on a fall morning, and it was just crazy awesome. It was a sight to behold. I wouldn't call it a meteor shower, more like a meteor storm. It was 3 or 4 per minute, and some of them were splitting into 3 and 4 pieces, and it continued after twilight. So it looked like bottle rockets streaking down the sky. And I got somebody up and I said, hey, you got to see this. And they put their glasses on because they didn't want to put their contacts in at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And they just said, well, that's neat, and went back to bed. Turns out they confessed later that they couldn't see nothing. They needed a new prescription, eyeglasses, and I'm like, I bought them a new prescription for their eyeglasses because I'm thinking, you're driving and you couldn't see this absolutely spectacular meteor storm. The other thing that was weird about the meteor storm was I could have swore, and I thought it was something, I thought like, nah, that's just my imagination. I've seen too many Star Wars movies or something, but I heard this like surging sound that seemed to go along with the rate of meteors. Like whoosh. There was still fall foliage, so I think it was like August. There was still some weeds and grass and plantain, broadleaf plants, and leaves on the trees, and still moisture in the leaves. So I'm not sure exactly which meteor storm that was. The Perseids. I just remember reading about it, and I thought, well, I'm going to get up at 4:30 in the morning because I know it's supposed to be better after in the wee hours there before sunrise. And man, was it ever. When I got up, it was already going on. And I couldn't contain my oohs and ahs. And we lived in a trailer park at that time. And I was like, wow, gosh, and I'm looking up the sky, and all these streaks are coming in, breaking apart in 3 or 4 pieces, and there's some more stars showing up. And I think I heard somebody wake up because I was like, I couldn't contain it. Oh man, I was doing like, look at that, because nobody. Well, I should have just went and knocked on doors and woke people up. It was a lifetime experience. I would put it almost on par with the eclipses that we got to see down north of Cookeville and then up in Batesville, Indiana. That's where we went for the 2 eclipses in the last, 8, 9 years, 10 years. Been two eclipses. What was one in 2017, 9 years ago? One was 2022, I think, 23. Anyway, in the spring versus the fall. And we took a real risk because it was a 2.5, 3 hour drive up there. No traffic to Batesville. And just like in Cookeville, when the eclipse was done, cars came from everywhere, jamming up even the side roads. When we got out of Cookeville, and I was trying to get somebody to take off on a different course and come back into Kentucky going south. Since we didn't have somebody with us that had to be back at 6 o'clock. But anyway, it's interesting. The stars are showing up, but they're not in focus, and I still don't see any hint of the moon. According to my app, though, I think it's well below the horizon. So we're not going to see that little crescent. Where did it go?
Moon.
And this app doesn't even depict it with a crescent. Okay, so nice weather. I'm wondering what the weather will be for tomorrow night if I can get a shot of the crescent. Let's go back to the weather app. You hit the back arrow as soon as it loads. You can avoid the little AI girl. And it'll let you see weather tomorrow night. Ooh. Look at that. 66. Won't be a full moon though. It barely be the first of the crescent. Which confirms the new month. And then I think it's on Saturday, the Festival of Weeks starts, and then we get Pentecost on the 50th day after Easter, supposedly, and I haven't looked to see when that is exactly. But, you know, eat your cheesecake if you have to, I guess. I'm about swore off the cheesecake. I thought it was interesting that this app depicts the crescent moon. Like maybe you can see that little... But I think it's wrong. Because it's showing the light coming off the south... would be the southwest quadrant. And the position my app is showing the moon, it should be coming off of this side. So we'll see tomorrow night. Generally, though, with Venus, if it's showing a crescent, it points towards the sun, but again, not always right at it. Same thing with the moon. It kind of points toward the sunset when it's in a crescent like this. Of course, if the crescent is the other side, which I have video of that, on my TV10 Morehead Legacy Facebook group, I'm going to go look for that. You can find I've got a morning crescent moon that is going towards passing the sun. And believe me, that's hard to catch with so much early morning fog and haze. But it's not that thin of a crescent either. It's pretty thin, but it ain't that thin. That's like probably beyond the most, you'd have to be in the most arid, dry climates with a complete, dark sky to the edge of the horizon and be up maybe pretty high mountains. Like I said earlier, maybe somewhere in some high arid climate in India might see the crescent moon before Israel does tomorrow night. But we're not seeing it in the Western Hemisphere, I don't think. So what's the rest of your forecast look like? They were calling for 90 tomorrow. It's been knocked back a couple of degrees to 88 and 89 on Monday. 90 is when they kick in that yellow hot graphic. Your National Weather Service threshold for making the graphic look hotter. Use like a blaring sun with a completely yellow sky when it ticks over from 89 to 90. So we'll take a little bit cooler, unless you're trying to grow something that wants warmer soil. You can always put down black plastic or black ground cloth, something you can water through. 88 on Tuesday, 83 on Wednesday, 72 Thursday, 73 Friday. Overnight lows this week. Lower to middle, maybe upper 60s, and then by Wednesday night, plummets back to the 50s. 58 for Wednesday night, Thursday 54, 59 Friday night, and there comes some more slim chances of some rain by Tuesday. Let's see what the actual forecast says for Tuesday. And I don't like to go beyond 3 days. I think your extended outlook is basically a trend. I have been talking with Weatherman Gene, and after I get him the next prognostication report for, I think it will be for May, June, or July, or June, July, and August, we're going to try to do a little live broadcast on this super El Nino, or whatever they're calling it. 60% chance there Tuesday night. And in the forecast it says a chance before 11 p.m. Then showers and thunderstorms are more likely. They'd be 60% likely. You got 80% on Wednesday, but again, take it all with a grain of salt. Drops back to 40% Thursday and 70% for Friday night. So the range is, 40 to 80% for rain in the latter half of the week, we'll say, after Tuesday. It's only a 30% chance during the day. But, so enjoy your clear skies tomorrow, picnic weather, whatever you got planned for Sunday. The weather's going to be fairly nice, just a little bit hot. Definitely your, white golf shirt, t-shirt, ball cap, and shorts if you got them, I guess, if you can stand to be seen in shorts. Radar, let's see. I was going to try to do a silly commercial. I don't want to. Anyway, there's the radar. And we are foggy right now. A little bit of stray rain there north of Frankfurt. They also have the CONUS radar. There was a fairly obvious low over here somewhere to the west, and it seems to have lost some of its definition. See what's on satellite after sunset. Yeah, fog is clearing out. Maybe. There's a little gap in the fog right now over the Interstate 64 corridor. Have a great evening, the rest of your day, that sort of stuff. And enjoy not having to water your garden as much. And maybe a lower risk of fire. It sure use the rain in a lot of places to keep down, just to keep down the fire risk. I mean, I guess you can always carry buckets or water your garden with rainwater. It's always better than tap water. I think chlorine and other junk in there may not be as good, or it may be a little harsh for your houseplants too. And my connection goes slow, so I might as well hit the finish button here.